Hey everyone, and welcome to version 4 of the March 13th, 2026 update. This has been a fun one to record. First time I drone on for 10 minutes, get to the end, forget to put captions in there, and while trying to go back, end up somehow TikTok just deletes the whole thing and I can't even find the draft. Awesome. Oops. Version 2, I just didn't like. I got to the end and I had skipped over a couple of things I wanted to talk about. Version 3, another really good one, including a super spontaneous moment where I was trying to get sentimental and end up knocking over a thing of Coke Zero and spilling it all over the carpet in the middle of the video, which I was actually going to keep because I found it much more entertaining than what I was actually talking about. But then TikTok froze while I was trying to finalize the video and somehow managed to lose the entire thing again. So, here we are with version 4. So today I did work in the accounting office and it was a good accounting day. I mentioned yesterday that that it was quiet. Yesterday because weather that was bad even by our standards, and a pretty high percentage of our orders yesterday were delivery orders, which are really hard to screw up from an accounting standpoint. So, of course, and in accounting you're always dealing with the previous day, and so since we were dealing with that day this morning, made today a smooth as silk day in the accounting office, which of course I am definitely pleased about. If today had been a challenging day, well, if if my first day back from everything with my dad had been an accounting day and it had been a really, really bad accounting day, probably would have quit. Just been like, forget it, I'm done. But that didn't happen. And today was a good day, and I got through in 4 hours and 47 minutes, even though I actually ended up helping a couple of other sections doing their stuff even during my time. So this would have been like a 4-hour day, which 5 hours is the benchmark, but I can pull up 7.5, quite easily. So it was a good day. Let's see. You can see here in this version, now I'm standing. In the 3 prior versions, I was sitting during this part, but this one I decided to record in a different venue, maybe to, I don't know, piss off the video gods a little less, so they'll let me keep this one. Anyway, so I've got this brand new bright blue puffer jacket that I happened to see that was on a clearance rack at my store. If you're not from my area, there was not much of a winter here this year, which in my time having to drive back and forth to Central Oregon countless times, I am deeply, deeply happy or grateful that there was no winter this year. That being said, they still have the winter merchandise that they needed to push through, so of course it was on clearance because nobody had any reason to buy any of it. And then they decided to apply an additional percentage off to the discounted clearance price, which, long story short, do I need a blue puffer jacket? Absolutely not. But for after tax $5.21, will I take a bright blue puffer jacket? Why, yes, indeed I will. And so then I can proceed to go and put it into a place where I surely will not remember it the next time that we get a cold day sometime in November. Anyway, that being said, so that's Mr. Paul's new jacket. Let's see. Laundry update. just in case you were wondering, my baskets of laundry are still there. A couple more pieces have been taken out, and used. The folding operation hasn't really come to a start because it hasn't, or stop because it hasn't really started. But and I've been keeping a track of this, and I think this is going to be like day 16 or day 17 now. I mentioned in my previous video that, actually going to be filming these videos a few hours apart, and might actually address some of that stuff during this time. No. Tidy up the kitchen a little bit and went to a sun tanning place. But we'll get to that. Just one more element of being behind. All right. Well, so can't let today go without acknowledging that today, March the 13th, is I'm quite confident that for the rest of my time being involved with education, and quite possibly for like all time, one of the most notorious days in public education, at least here in Washington State, is a March the 13th. Very specifically, March the 13th of 2020. And of course, everywhere was impacted by this in some way, shape, or form. I think in Florida, they let kids out like 8 minutes early for one day of school. Meanwhile, kids up here in Washington State wouldn't see a classroom again for in person for like a year. But regardless of any of that, the fact being that there had to be a day that was like the day. And I happen to be working in a 4th grade on the day. And this happened to be not the school that serves my neighborhood, but another school that I like to go to quite often when I was doing elementary. And, one of those atmospheres, places that has a great amount of parent support and whatnot. And also a place where I had actually taught kids on the last day of school. The last 3 days of 2nd grade, I was in a room, and these kids were now the 4th graders that I had on March the 13th of 2020. So there were like 5 of them that I'd actually had the last 3 days of school with. But this whole group I had worked with in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade together, and yeah, so it was another sub day, and then at about 12 o'clock, several parent volunteers come in, and they start distributing Chromebooks to students. Out of an abundance of caution, take this, and in case there's some kind of disruption, we'll use it, and we'll get in touch with you. Well, it was just 2 hours later that an email came out, that was, again, probably the most shocking email that I've ever seen during my time involved with education. And it was basically saying that there was not going to be school for the next 6 weeks. Nothing in teacher training school prepares you for dropping a bombshell like that. And so thought, well, probably the best way to do it, after having them pack up their things a little bit early, with like 3 or 4 minutes left in the day, just reading verbatim the superintendent's email to families explaining that this was it. And you don't know what kind of reaction you're going to get to that. It's like, are they going to be cheering or something? And no, it was shock. And then some tearing up as they realize they're not going to see their kids or their friends for 6 weeks. And it's hard even not to get emotional thinking about what was being unfurled right then. But anyway, March the 13th. Thanks for joining me, and we'll talk to you next.